Hello there, this is Brent Harris, productivity coach. Welcome back once again to my living room. So in this video, I want to talk about a very central core lesson that if I can communicate this properly, if I can transmit it properly, and if you can receive it, I believe that this lesson has the propensity to change, to really eradicate struggle. So if you find that your life is mostly struggle, and if it's mostly difficulty and mostly obstacles, and it's like life is just like constantly throwing shit at you, or you're trying to move through your life and you're constantly like running into one blockage after another, I think this message will have the ability to shift that and melt it so that you can just have the wind at your back and just kind of move back into enjoyment and move back into flow and that sense of being like carefree and you're having a good time and there's no worry and there's no urgency and yet somehow for that reason, because there's such low worry and urgency, you're just doing a better job. And and you get to be one of those people. If you've ever had these people in your life that are just killing it, they're doing a great job and they don't appear to be trying very hard, and you're like, what the hell is up with those people? Why is it coming so easily to them? This could be your way to be one of those people. That is the amount of faith I have in this message. And the reason why I have that faith in this message is because it's a very old, ancient idea. It's certainly not my own, but it's come to me recently on a much deeper level, and I'm kind of really enjoying it, and I want to transmit it to you now. So that's the purpose of this video. Now I have to remember what it is. Oh boy. So it's this. Notes. Notebook, help me out. Right, okay, here we go. So I can boil it down to a question like this. Are you attempting to escape your reality? So when you look at your life, when you look at your day-by-day life, your Monday through Friday life, I can only assume about you that you are currently engaged in some kind of endeavor. So you have work, you have school, you're a freelancer, you're a business owner, and you are in the process of not just living your life and taking care of your tasks. You're not just like trying to do what's on your plate, but you're also doing what's on your plate and hoping to elevate your life. You're hoping to move towards success. You're hoping to grow your experience so that you go from this smaller area of activity into a larger area of activity that involves more money, more influence, more freedom, more stuff. You're more control over how you spend your time. And on from there, just playing a bigger game, playing at a higher level. That is where you want to go, and that is, what your current endeavor is. So the challenge is that when a lot of us are going about this type of movement, we're trying to play at this higher level. We're doing it from one of two fundamental places. One is a place of reactivity. So we're against our reality as it is. We find that our reality as it is right now, it's unacceptable. It's not good. It's intolerable. There are things that are just really bad about it. And so we feel like we're trying to get out of it as quickly as we can. And then there's this other mentality that we have where it's not that way. We're at peace with where we're at. And there's no particular problem with where we're at. Like our reality as it is, it's good. There's still room for improvement, and there's still improvements that we want to get into. But as it stands, there's no particular problem. There's nothing about it that is unpleasant or bad that causes us grief or anxiety. So in other words, like things are good, like they're good and getting better. And so what I want to say is that when we are in this second place, when we're in this place of not being in conflict with our reality, that we are in a place where it's actually easier to improve. It's like, a lot of us feel like, we're trying to get up this mountain of effort, and we feel like once we can get to the top of the mountain, once we can get to the crest, and then start going down the other side, it will just get easier and easier and easier and easier. And so I'm referring to that state of like when things are already good, they just tend to get better more easily. It reminds me of this, I think this is a quote from Jesus where he said, he who has much to him, he says something to the effect of, when you have a lot, more will be given to you. And if you have not so much, more will be taken away. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to help you shift from this paradigm of being in difficulty and being in struggle and just constantly being met with struggle into this mentality of my shit is pretty good and it's just getting better. Because if we can do that, then we can just move along our upward spiral with more ease and more enjoyment. And we can just kind of get to the good shit. Like we can just get to the good times, and we can really start, instead of constantly waiting for life to begin, constantly feeling like we're in life's waiting room. Just turning on the battery saver there. Like constantly in life's waiting room, we can actually get on with it. Like we can actually get to the part where we're living and enjoying it and succeeding and kind of moving that way. And I guess, so one piece of this message is that this is possible for you right now. We're really, really used to thinking in a way that we need more future, or that like we need to accomplish something in the future in order to kind of arrive at that point. And we're constantly in a state of trying to get there, trying to get there, trying to get there. And the shift that we're talking about is not possible in a future moment. It's only possible in a moment such as this one right now. It's a decision that you make either now or not now. And I want to encourage you to make that decision now, where it's like, okay, like I'm ready to stop reaching into the future, and I'm willing to let this be it. I'm willing to let this be the party. Like, like my shit has officially begun. The good times are now. We can pop the champagne. We can start celebrating, and then just focus and make the whole focus instead of trying to get there. Now it's just, I'm here and I'm just going to improve it from here. And now the whole game is improvement as opposed to reaching and seeking and stretching. So there we go. That is the basic gist of it. Now, the one thing that impedes our ability to make this kind of decision is that a lot of us are actually committed to struggle. And so if I say it like that, a lot of us might hear that and say, no, I'm not committed to struggle. I'm definitely 100% done with struggling. It's interesting because almost everybody that I run into in some way or another is committed to the maintenance of their own struggle. So they're actually committed to keeping that story going. And it's only when they've really and truly struggled enough and have experienced enough difficulty and experienced enough strife, do they really arrive at this point where it's like, okay, I'm ready to put this down and I'm ready to move into the good times. It's crazy, but it's true. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, I want to do that. Like, yeah, I want to drop my struggle. I want to move into the good times. Like, sign me up. I'm ready to go. Then here's the threshold that you will need to pass through. So here we go. Would you be willing to make full and utter peace with your situation as it is right now? Would you be willing to allow your life to be as it is right now? And that includes everything that's wrong with it, like everything that you think is not okay about it, everything that bugs you about it, whether it's your family, your relationships, that one person in your life, your money situation, your debt, your health situation, your career situation. And that's all the stuff that's happening now. Or perhaps you might be a little bit more past oriented, where there's something that happened to you in the past. There's something like that happened to you in the past and you were victimized by it. And maybe you're over it to an enormous extent, but there's still like a sense of like, I can't get over it. It's not okay. It's just not okay. And that person's getting away with it. And there's that sense of held negativity. So that would be an example of something that you would need to surrender if it is your desire to drop your suffering and move into this place of like, my life is good and I'm enjoying it. So it's tricky, right? Because we really imbue our suffering with value. It's like, no, I'm not willing to give that up. I'm not willing to give up my negativity. Or like, my situation really is not okay. It's really and truly not okay. Another example might be like, suppose you did on what, like one way of looking at it is something bad happened to me in the past. A different one would be I did something bad in the past, and I can't just be okay. I can't just be happy because I did that thing. I need to punish myself. And it could be far in the past or very recently in the past. It could be a big thing or a small thing, but whatever it is, if it's a reason to withhold deep wellness from yourself, like if you're like, I can't be okay, I just can't be okay while this reality is real, you are placing a condition on your happiness, on your wellness. And as long as you're placing a condition, so you're saying, I'm not okay because of blank, 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 then that conviction prevents you from experiencing ease in your life. You can't withhold wellness and that from yourself right now in the now moment and then go about in your life trying to like look for things that will make you okay. That's backwards. That's how you set yourself up for just constant disappointment and difficulty and struggle. You're literally looking around for something that's only in you. What else can you get from that except sorrow and grief? Crazy, right? So that's past, present, future too. It's like, well, I can't be, like a future orientation, like a future version of this, where of withholding your wellness would be, I can't be well until something happens, until I reach a certain income level, a certain success level, a certain amount of likes, a certain relationship. Like I need conditions to come into my life so that I can be okay. So all of this you'd be required to surrender. All of your reasons for withholding wellness from yourself. So you'd be forced, if it's your desire to be well right now, you would need to allow your life to be okay as it is right now. And maybe you're really used to like looking at your life as something that's subpar and it's like not good enough. Maybe you're embarrassed about it. Maybe you find that it doesn't compare really well to other people's lives, and other people have better lives than you. And you try to hide that from other people. So you try to make your life look better than it is so that it can compare well to other people's lives. And that would need to be surrendered. Not like you're going to start talking about how shitty your life is. That would not be it either. But it's like looking at your life, your whole situation, and just saying like, okay, like it is as it is. I accept it. This is good enough for me. It's good enough. Would you be willing to say that? Would you be willing to affirm that? My shit is good enough. This is good enough. If you really want to take this up a notch, if you're really ready to be done with your struggle and done with your suffering, then try affirming, this is it. You can say it out loud if you want, if you dare. This is it. This is it. Nothing more than this. There's no moment that is significantly better than this one. Like nothing gets significantly better than how it is right now. A little bit more money there, a little bit more success there, a little bit more love and admiration and respect and influence. Your circumstances can change in certain ways that make things more easy or more difficult. But everything, like once it happens, you adjust to it, and then it just becomes the here and now again. No matter what circumstances you arrive in, it will always be here and it will always be now, just like how it is right now. There's nothing significantly better than this. Would you be willing to allow that to be true? That there's nothing that significant to search for? There's nothing that significant that can come into your life and make things better? That this truly is as good as it gets? That there's no future moment that can really save you? That it's your belief that you need saving? That is the problem. That is what is withholding wellness. I need to be saved. I need to save myself. From what? What do you believe you need to be saved from? What do you think needs to be redeemed? Because if you believe you need to be saved or redeemed, it means that you believe that there's something unacceptable about reality in some way. Something is unacceptable. Sorry, 1 second. So would you be willing to accept it? Would you be willing to drop your conflict with your entire reality? Can you see now from this perspective, especially as we kind of sit in this kind of energy, that all attempts to escape reality are futile? There's no escaping this reality. There's only this moment. There's only this. So instead of trying to escape it, would you be willing to fully embody it and ground yourself in it and root into it and engage with it? Because if you're trying to escape it, what's happening is you are evacuating out of your body and out of your experience into your imagination, like into your imagined realities, into your mental sphere, and you're just kind of living up there, and you're absent from the here and now. And if you're absent from the here and now, how can you be effective? How can you be productive? How can you get anything significant done? You're not even here. All attempts to escape are met with frustration because you keep finding yourself in the here and now. So would you be willing to just plug into the here and now? Would you be willing to root into it and start transforming it, improve it, like put your hands right into the clay and start shaping it? And that can only be done by first accepting it and allowing it to be exactly as it is, all of it. So that's the message. That's really it. So it's like, to summarize it one more time, would you be willing to bring peace to all elements of your life, past, present, and future, everything? Would you be willing to bless it all, accept it all, allow it all to be, allow a forgiveness to emerge that's so all-encompassing that it even recognizes that everybody was innocent, that we're all innocent? That's a controversial one. I know. A lot of people argue with that one, but the basic knowledge that, like, if you were them, you would have done the same, whatever that was. That's what I'm talking about, that innocence. Would you be willing to accept it all, allow it all to be as it is? Would you be willing to release all of your conflict with life, all of your conflict with life? Bring yourself to a yes to those questions, a resounding yes. If you do it, you'll notice you feel better immediately. And then now go about your life. It's like, okay, what is there for me to do? And then start doing it. And notice, pay attention as you work and do productivity from this mentality. So much more flow, so much more ease, so much more enjoyment. That's the real shit. That's all. So thank you for watching. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Please leave a comment. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you'd like to support this channel, help other people see it. If you want coaching, if you want one-on-one coaching, that's what I do. I help people attain high-level sustainable productivity. I have a link below to get a $5 session, just a $5 45-minute session. You'll love it. Everybody loves it. I highly suggest going for it if you're feeling drawn to it. That's all. Stay well. Release all conditions on your wellness. Take care. Bye.